Welcome to the introduction show to Rocks to Rocketry. This is a show that I'm going to be updating regularly where I am going to go out into the wilderness, or more accurately, my parents' backyard that happens to have some trees in, and showing how to build up from just the raw materials that I have locally to modern technology. Now, I will not be following a historical line. I will not be like going first through the Bronze Age, then Iron Age, and then going through all the useless stuff that we went through in order to make nowadays technology. Instead, I will be using a fairly direct approach. Like I'm going to go pretty much first straight into Iron Age. I'm going to skip kind of the Bronze Age because I don't really have copper deposits around this area, and that's another thing. I'm going to use what I'm able to get until, for example, first I'm gonna just use stuff that I can access by walking, and then after I build enough tools and equipment to build, let's say, a boat, then I will allow myself to use materials that are along the coastline within, let's say, 100 kilometers, whatever, until I build better machinery that will allow me to travel further, give me more access to wider available materials. Another thing, the videos are going to be fairly sequential. I'm probably going to stray a little bit just because the way I record videos, but I'm basically going to try to encapsulate a topic in each video, and every video is going to build off of the last video. For example, like if I build fire, I'm going to show you I'm going to have an annotation in that video of how I built the tools to make that fire. Like I'll have like a video to the stone tool making in order to make the tools to cut down the trees, and then how I cut down the trees and made some tinder and stuff like that. And they're all going to be linked back to whatever is relevant to make the things in those videos. If that made any sense, I'm kind of rambling. Yeah, there's going to be some kind of rules and guidelines. Like for the most part, I'm not going to use anything modern made. Like if there's an area of gravel, but it's man-made gravel, like ground crushed, I'm not going to use it. If I'm not going to use pop cans and plastic I find laying on the ground because that's man-made, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to build up to that using the raw nature material. Oh yeah. Once I have shown you how to build something and I've been fairly thorough with it, I will allow myself some leniencies. So for example, if I show you how to make another example of this, something I want to do, since I'm a little bit of a hippie, I'm a bit of a tree hugger, I prefer not to hurt any animals if I can. So first things, I'm actually going to try avoiding using leather and a lot of animal products if I can help it. I'm going to avoid using a lot of petroleum products, mainly because I don't have easy access to petroleum. But I think there's a lot of ways I can just get around that without needing to use that in order to build modern products. And what that also entails is even let's say I need eggs. Eggs is actually a pretty good resource for me. There's a lot of things inside eggs that I can use to build products. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to catch a live pheasant, show you how to make enclosure for everything like that, and then I'm going to basically take the assumption that I've passed it on to a farmer that continues to farm eggs, and then in reality what I'll probably do is just let the pheasant go and use chicken eggs instead, which are similar enough for what I plan to do. And that's basically it. I'll probably come out with more details about the exact rules I kind of want to follow, but the more or less that's really it. If you've seen a primitive technology, or even how to make everything, I kind of want to combine those two together. Whereas primitive technology, the YouTube channel, does amazing stuff, but he just kind of stays in the Stone Age era. He doesn't want to stray too much from that. He really loves his prehistoric stuff, which is awesome. But I want to build up from that. And then there's also the YouTube channel How to Make Everything. Great YouTube channel. You really should subscribe to it if you haven't. Where he builds stuff from scratch, but not 100% from scratch. He doesn't really go from the dirt up like I plan to do. So I plan to kind of combine those two, and that's actually where I drew a lot of inspiration. I've been wanting been wanting to like yeah, do this for a while, but after watching like those YouTube channels, it's really kind of got me like going to do this myself. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I think I've been rambling on enough. I will hope to get the first video up in about 2 days. I've actually got a lot of footage recorded. It's just I've been kind of procrastinating on the editing because I'm not the greatest of video editors. But anyway, that's it. Any questions? Anything you would like to see? Oh, one more thing. Because budgets are kind of tight, even though I shouldn't need too much money, I do still kind of need to eat and stuff like that. I am opening up a Patreon. I wouldn't recommend donating just yet. Wait a little while after I came out with like a couple videos. If you say like, hey, I like where this is going, and you want to throw a couple dollars at me, you can do that through Patreon. I'll have a link down below. But I advise you to wait until I've done that because I'll admit I'm kind of bad at procrastinating. And if I don't produce any content, well, then I don't deserve any money, now do I? So, anyway, that's the last thing. Till then, and Sunday is when I plan to have my next video out. And I hope you enjoy it, because I've certainly been enjoying doing it so far, recording old footage. Till then, take care. Bye.